You're listening to Malam Jumaat Podcast with Rizal.
Hey, what's up, everyone? You're listening to Malam Jumaat Podcast, and this is episode number 8. Hopefully, it's episode number 8, so I don't get jumbled up with other recordings that I'll be doing in succession. Because yes, people have been asking why haven't I been recording for this podcast. Well, just only 2 people actually. Well, but yes, I've been very busy during this 2 months since the last episode. The last episode was, a week after Raya, Aidilfitri. So after that, I was like, I had no time to do a recording, and been busy with work during the weekdays. So during the weekend, I got so lazy, and I just want to lay down in bed and just rest so that I can feel energized on Monday and continue to work. But right now I have to do this recording for this episode. Just because that I haven't done any recording for a long time, almost 2 months, I think, going to 3 months, because last was in June, now it's September. And also I feel like I have to help to make people understand. Like, I think you already read the title of this episode regarding Haze, and also regarding the Air Pollutant Index, and why there's some people would like to say the discrepancies between what they see outside and also the readings and everything. But let's just go it step by step, topic by topic. I have a lot of time right now to do this recording, so hopefully you'll take this episode, listen to it, and understand. I'll do my very best to explain to you guys about peatlands, about API, about Haze, and why, I don't know, about, not to say diplomacy or whatever, on the Indonesia, Malaysia stuff that is going on right now. But I won't go in too deep. Just give you something, the essentials only regarding that. So let's talk about the big one first. I don't know which one to start first. Let's start with the meat of it, which is the API. So people, I've seen in the comments and also on Twitter. I'm also on Twitter a lot. I'm not in Facebook that much, but then some officers do give me questions on Facebook regarding the API, and some people have been throwing stuff at us saying that we're fabricating the readings. They don't believe the readings that's coming out from the department. And not to say that I got personally offended, but calling us liars without proof, and then showing us the proof that you have using third-party apps, which we don't know how authentic, how accurate their readings are. Now that's just, disingenuous. And I hope you'll just listen to it first. I don't know how I'm going to explain it, either in BM or English, but hopefully if you understand this in English, then good for you. I don't know, I'll just, switch back English or BM or whatever, I don't know. Right now it's already 11:30 p.m. and this is the third time of the recording, because I don't know, I just feel like if this doesn't make it better, I'll just have to redo it for the 4th or 5th or 6th time, but I don't want to do the 4th or 5th or 6th time, sorry. I'm rambling right now. But yes, API. Alright, let's go to the gist of it. So right now, our stations, there are 68 right now. that are, how do you say it? They have like 6 pollutants. They measure 6 pollutants, which is PM10, PM2.5, NO2, SO2, carbon monoxide, and ground level ozone. But we're talking about haze right now. So when it comes to haze, PM2.5 is the dominant pollutant out of those 6 pollutants. So how do we generate the air pollutant index? So let's start from the top. So every hour they will get the concentration for that hour. So when you get that concentration for that hour, it will generate a lot every single hour. And then when you get to 24 readings, then you can get the average concentration for PM2.5. So it's different. Like I said, right now, for the average concentration for PM2.5, you need at least 24 readings to get the sub-index. That's the methodology of it. So from out of the 6, there are 3 pollutants that uses 24-hour readings, which is PM10, PM2.5, and also SO2 that needs 24 readings. For carbon monoxide, you need 8 hours of average concentration, but for ground level ozone, you just only need 1 hour, meaning you don't need to get like 8 or 24 readings. You can just use that hour's concentration to get the sub-index. So you already have that 24-hour readings, right? And that 24-hour readings is like a moving average. Every hour, when it goes from the next hour to the next hour, it moves 24 readings to the front. So what happens to the last 25th to the 26th reading? That's being pushed out. So new rings in front, it will move the average concentration. That is why it's called moving average. So you have 24 hours. So before we go any further, PM2.5 is particulate matter 2.5, which is a very microscopic particle that is 2.5 microns smaller. PM10 is PM10 microns and smaller. So PM2.5, why is it important to measure PM2.5? Because it really goes inside your lungs and it can really, really mess you up in the lungs. It can cause like cloggings in your alveoli, or what do you call that. So it can bring a lot of diseases, PM2.5, which is very, very, how do you say, detrimental to your health. Also, like all 6 pollutants right now, yes, it does. But then PM2.5 not saying that it's way worse, but similarly, but a bit worse than PM10. At least PM10, you have some filters, like your nose hairs, your throat. But then PM2.5 is very small. How do you say? It's like 4 times smaller than your hair strand. So that one hair strand, that thin, but it's 4 times smaller than that. So 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 1 micron. So we're using that your hair is 1 micron. So PM1, I guess. No, not PM1. PM more than that. Sorry, I'm not going to make you more confused than that. So that's PM2.5. So it's very small. It can go into your lungs. Very bad. That's all you need to know. So now you have that 24-hour moving average concentration. So from there, you get the 24-hour readings, you divide it by 24, and you get the average of that hour. Now, when you already have that average, then you put it in a formula. You put that in a formula that I cannot show you right now, but there is some formula according to how high or how low the average concentration is. So you put there, and then what comes out of it is the sub-index of the pollutant. So it's not only for PM2.5, there's also a sub formula for PM10, for SO2, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, and ground level ozone. They have their own formula to put according to how high or how low the concentration is, and then it will equal out a sub-index. So right now we have 6 sub-index. The sub-index for the PM10, for the PM2.5, for NO2, for SO2, for carbon monoxide, and also ground level ozone. And from those 6 sub-indexes, we'll pick which one is the highest. So right now, during the Haze episode, the highest is PM2.5. So we'll take that PM2.5 sub-index and choose it to become the Air Pollutant Index of that station. So hopefully you understand that. So you get the running average of concentration for every hour, but you take the 24-hour readings. So you divide it by 24. This is for PM2.5 and PM10 and SO2. For carbon monoxide, you take 8 hours average concentration. You divide it by 8, you get the average concentration, you put it in the formula, it equals out to another sub-index for carbon monoxide. But for ozone, no, only 1 hour. There's no average, just 1 hour concentration on that time. You put it in the formula, it comes out with a sub-index. So right now we're talking about the Haze situation. Right now, PM2.5 is the dominant pollutant, and of course 100% will be the API for every station in Malaysia. So right now we have 68 stations in Malaysia right now, and every station right now, the dominant pollutant of the API is PM2.5. So right now, the question is, why is the API low, but when I'm experiencing outside my house or outside where I work or where I'm outdoors, it looks very hazy? So the answer that I want to say is that is what we call visibility that you're experiencing outside. That is different, which is what you see with your naked eye towards the atmosphere up there, which has particles that actually makes it looks hazy, means high relative humidity, a lot of and also pollutants up there. If it's really hazy, that means the concentration is higher. So the reason is that because of the 24-hour concentration average, we take it from the way back behind. So right now, if you see that if there's like let's see here. So if it's a rolling average, meaning that you are taking the readings from 23 hours back, when it's high right now but it's low before that, meaning the average is still not, the high concentration is still not the majority average concentration that is in the 24-hour readings there. So it's just high in 1 hour, but the 23 hours it's still low. That's why the API is still low. So right now it's getting more and more polluted in the air. So the concentration is getting higher and higher and higher and higher. So the majority of that 24-hour concentration is getting bigger and bigger. And then the low concentration is getting pushed out because of the moving average. Now it's getting the majority of that 24-hour readings is all high concentrations. So that is when the reading becomes higher and higher for the API. So it gradually increases when the concentration in the front, the latest concentration is high. So that's why it's a bit late to get the API increment, because it's still reading the 23 hours readings from the back, which is low back then, but then it will gradually increase when you move the average concentration in the front. So when you get 24-hour readings, which is high, That is why you get the API, which is, it can go up to very unhealthy or hazardous, like what happened in Sri Aman and also in Miri. So that is why it's different. Right now, you see that, oh my God, it's very hazy outside. But then when you look at our apps in my IPU, or you open up APIMS, and then the API reading is still like 80 something or 92 or 95, and you ask yourself, wait, is this real? Is the reading wrong? Outside it's very hazy and I can smell something burning, but then why is the API still low? Why is it moderate? So it's because of that. We take 24-hour concentrations. Why do we take 24-hour concentrations? That's the methodology. That's the method of trying to get the official reading for PM 2.5 and also PM 10 and also SO2. Hopefully, maybe there are some scientists that comes up with another study saying that, oh, you don't need to wait for PM, you don't need to wait for 24 hours, you can only use 12-hour readings. We don't know. That's where the science comes from. After that, maybe after this, they said that you don't need 24 hours. Maybe 12 hours or 8 hours is enough to get the official reading for PM 2.5 or PM 10. So right now, what we're doing is we're just following the international standard and method of trying to get the index for the particulate matter 2.5 and particulate matter 10 microns and 2.5 microns. So that's where the misunderstanding between looking up in the sky, which is the visibility, and also the readings of the API. I think I really need to say this in Malay also, because I don't know if people don't understand what I'm trying to explain here, but let me see. I think there's one in my WhatsApp right now. Okay. So those who don't understand Malay, it's okay. I'll just get someone to translate it for you, but this is in Bahasa Melayu. So, dengar elok-elok. Ini dalam bahasa Melayu punya. So, dikata semasa berlaku jerebu, jarak penglihatan lazimnya akan berkurangan di bawah 10 km. So, jarak penglihatan diukur setiap jam dan merupakan data cerapan yang semasa. So, the current reading lah untuk yang ketampakan. So, oleh itu, semasa berlaku jerebu, orang ramai boleh terus melihat kesan yang serta-merta, iaitu pengurangan jarak penglihatan. Sebaliknya, bagi IPU, Indeks Pencemaran Udara, yang memberitahu orang ramai tentang mengenai status kualiti udara, kesannya hanya dapat dilihat selepas tempoh beberapa jam jerebu mula dikesan. Inilah kerana bacaan IPU tu dikira dengan mempuratakan bacaan kepekatan habuk halus PM 2.5 dengan PM 10 untuk tempoh 24 jam sebelumnya. So, faktor ini yang menyebabkan IPU tidak sepadan dengan jarak penglihatan yang rendah. Jerebu juga akan bertambah teruk apabila adanya paras suap air yang di udara yang tinggi mengelilingi habuk halus ini dan yang menyebabkan jarak penglihatan itu bertambah buruk. Selain itu, jarak penglihatan dan bacaan IPU mempunyai kegunaan yang berbeza. Jarak penglihatan digunakan untuk panduan untuk keselamatan penerbangan dan pelayaran, manakala bacaan IPU digunakan sebagai indikator status kualiti udara dengan mengambil kira kesan pendedahan pencemar udara kepada kesihatan manusia. Harap-harap korang faham lah apa aku baca tadi. Kalau korang nak ulang balik, korang just ulang je balik dekat mana yang korang rasa aku start tadi tu, and then korang dengar elok-elok. So sekarang ni, the next one is about where do I get the source for this readings of the IPU. Okay, right now the department already has the IPU readings, which is in APIMS. When you open in desktop, apims.doe.gov.my, I'll put that in the link. And also you can install the applications in your phone, which is called MyIPU, MYIPU. Well, self-explanatory there, MyIPU. So there we show you the hourly readings of the API in those application and also in the desktop website. So right now, that's the only official reading here in Malaysia. I hope you guys understand that other third-party apps that also shows readings of their so-called API, we don't know how accurate are they and how they take their data and how they clean up their data or how they calculate their data. And right now, those are not official readings and shouldn't be used as a source to make articles or to like use as, how do you say, uh, bullets to shoot at the department saying that we're trying to falsify data and saying that our data is wrong. This third party app is telling the truth because it has higher readings. Of course, it's almost the same as the one that I see outside, which is very hazy. So right now, we don't know how they take their data, how they clean it, the calibration, the QA/QC of the data. Right now, the API right now that we have using the MyIPU and AppBeams follows the international standard. Trust me, we're not trying to falsify the data or whatever. We have no reason to falsify or tell you the false data or anything. Why should we? What do we gain from trying to give the people false data in the first place? I mean, we're also here as Malaysians living under the same country. We breathe the same air. If it's hazy outside for you, it's hazy outside for us. Now tell me, if we try to falsify data and then you look outside and it's hazy, what would that make us look like? What does make us? We don't have any reason to try to make it false. I don't know about you guys, but maybe because we're all you know how to say, we're all very very frustrated. We can't do anything about the haze because allegedly it comes from our neighboring country. So we try to find fault. We try to find something to get mad about. That we can't get mad about them. We can just talk about them, but also you have to, release it to someone else. And I do get your frustrations, but we all need to learn how to be patient and be cooperative with the government regarding haze. I know you have some complications with your breathing. Some people with asthma, with conjunctivitis, URTI, upper respiratory tract infection. But hopefully, I don't know, you just follow all the guidelines and the advice given by the Ministry of Health and also from the Disaster Management Agency. What to do, always wear a mask outside, and hopefully that you can go pass through here. I'm okay. Right now, it's only, how do you say, it will change because according to meteorology, maybe in October there'll be an intermonsoon, meaning that from the wind that is blowing from southwest, then it will become variable, and then hopefully we'll get rain, not the cloud seeding type of rain, but the rain that is natural rain. And then when it comes to November or the middle of October or end of October, we will get the northeast monsoon back, meaning more rain for us, and there will be no haze coming from our neighboring country blowing towards us. It will be blowing on the other side. But I'm praying that they're also suppressing they will finish suppressing the fires before the monsoon changes, because if it changes, then other people will be affected by the fires. So yes, that is what that's all about. That is the problem here right now, because it's coming from another country, and then the wind doesn't help. The wind blows towards us, so that's why we're getting haze. But then we cannot change the wind direction, and we're at a disadvantage in a geographical sense. So we just have to try to let go. We just have to bear the haze that comes from their country. So right now, talking about the country next, I'm not gonna say it. So I did say the country's name during the start of this podcast. So right now, between Malaysia and Indonesia, the thing is why we can't help is that there's this thing called sovereignty, and we can only tell them that we can assist them to put out the fires in Sumatra and Kalimantan, but that is all up to the Indonesian government to accept it or not. It's not like we can't do anything we can. We have the resources. We have the the logistics of everything to help Indonesia to suppress the fires where it's in Sumatra and Kalimantan, but they don't want our help. They don't want anyone's help. They said that it's under control. They can put out the fires by themselves. They are putting out it's all hands on deck. The people from the provinces, their Manggala Agni, their police, and their the soldiers trying to put out the fires on peatlands. So that's not to say the problem, but they say that they can suppress and put out the fires by themselves, and they don't want our help. So right now we're just trying to say best of luck to them to put out thousands of hectares of burning peat fires in Sumatra and also in Kalimantan. So right now, why did it burn? Probably because there are some people using slash and burn techniques on their land to open the land, to clear the land, so they can just put out more palm oil mills or paper mills out there, so they can tanam lagi kelapa sawit. We're just assuming that happened, but mostly because of slash and burn, because you're trying to clear the land. The fastest way to clear a big plot of land is just to slash and burn. Also, it fertilizes the soil because it burns all the old plants and it becomes like, coal. It becomes a fertilizer there. So I don't know the reason why they do that, but then that's the only effective way for them. But the problem is the peatland. So what is peatland? Let's see. Peatland. What is peatland? Peatland is a type of soil. Peatland, huh? So if you don't know what peatlands is, land because it's a peat or peat box. Sorry. Peatlands are a type of wetland which are among the most valuable ecosystems on Earth. They are critical preserving global biodiversity, provide safe drinking water, minimize flood risk, and help address climate change. The reason how peatland occurs is because it's always in between two rivers, and the peatland is in between it. And then there's a lot of dead wood and everything. They fall, and then they they decompose, and then it becomes peatland. So this peatland is very porous, very spongy, and it's very hard to walk because right now you don't know where the soft spots are. So one misstep and then your whole leg can go down. And it's the real peatland is supposed to be a peat swamp, and it's very watery, very swampy, a lot of water. But the problem is people drain out the water so they can do their pertanian. They're trying to make farmlands out of this peatland because it's very fertile. It's a very fertile land. So right now, when it's dry, and it's very highly combustible because there are a lot of it's highly flammable on peatlands. So any fire, any small sparks of fire can cause a peatland to burn, and we all know that it doesn't burn on the surface of this peatland. if you can imagine burning sponge, it doesn't burn on the top of the sponge. It will go in because it's porous. So it burns inside. So dia, how do you say in Malay, dia akan jadi bara kat dalam bawah tanah gambut tu. Dia terbakar, memang terbakar, you tak nampak. Lagi-lagi kalau dia terbakar dekat yang memang dah ada pokok tinggi-tinggi, nampak pokok cantik tapi asap dah keluar dah dekat in between dia punya pokok-pokok tu. Ni nampak asap putih. It's very hard untuk nak cari dia punya hotspot, the titik panas using satellite image kalau terbakar, because kalau dia dah nampak macam tu, memang susah kalau terbakar dalam hutan lah. But if it's a farmlands that they're trying to nak bangunkan, memanglah teruk tu. Serious aku cakap. It's hell, I can say. Memang susah. If a peatland burns, it can burn for months kalau tak ada intervention, tak ada cara orang nak padam api yang dalam tanah gambut ni. And I can say, dengan orang bomba cakap, salah satu cara kalau nak padam api kat tanah gambut ni, it's only either you flood the peatland, because you nak padam, you padam kat dalam tu. It's inside the peatland, not on the top surface. Kalau surface saja, dia akan cepat padam. You tembak, you can use direct attack. Take a hose, get a water source, you just shoot using that hose, and then it will dissipate. It will be put out in no time. But not for peatlands. Peatlands is very, very hard to suppress the fires. So the only way to stop it from spreading big is either you do a fire break. So you do a fire break so that it doesn't go further, and also you just flood the peatland using water. Doesn't matter what. Either you can just you can do water bombing or whatever, or do direct attacks. But it's not very effective if you use direct attacks on the peatland, because that is very, very hard. Seriously, it's very hard to put out fires on peatlands. And I'm just telling you this very layman. So if you drain out water, there's no water, it becomes very, how do you say, very, very dry. One part maybe from someone irresponsibly didn't put out the fires of their campfires, or maybe they were smoking and then they just threw out the cigarette butt, which is still lit, falls on the peatland, it will burn. Or just someone just do slash and burn. They just slash their old plants, their old trees, they put it in a bunch, and then they just burn it, which is very, very, very irresponsible. And the damage is very big, and I don't know why people do that. Hopefully the Ministry of Agriculture in Indonesia should do something to them, should try to find ways how not to burn their plants, their yard waste on peatlands. Because right now the problem is burning on peatlands, very hard to suppress, and it emits a lot of smoke, and then the wind comes in and it blows to the peninsula of Malaysia, or in Kalimantan it blows to Sabah and Sarawak. But sometimes it still blows up to the peninsula of Malaysia. Kalimantan, if the wind blow is just right, if it moves a bit to the left, then it can go straight to Johor and Melaka and Negeri Sembilan, and it will bercantum. It will connect with the Sumatra's fire and the haze, so it becomes one big haze that is on top of Malaysia, Brunei, and also Indonesia themselves. So to say that this is becoming like a yearly event, well, we can't do anything because it's not in our country. If it's in our country, we already have our SOPs on how to handle burnings, open burnings on peatlands. We have the infrastructure to put out fires on peatlands to control the water levels on peatlands. We built check dams, tube wells. We have retention ponds so that we have water source to put out the fires. But in the other country, well, we don't know how they control those type of things. We don't know how they conserve peatlands in their country. I can't speak on behalf of them or whatever because I don't know. That's Indonesia, and I only know about Malaysia. So yeah, I think I already covered the IPU, why Malaysia can help Indonesia because you need their kebenaran nak masuk negara diorang. Kalau tak ada kebenaran, then kita tak boleh nak masuk nak tolong. We need their permission. If you don't have their permission to help go in their country and help put out fires, then we can. Let them do their job and hopefully pray that this end of September, early October, the wind will change so that it won't blow back to Malaysia. Maybe they'll blow to the Indian Ocean after that. But hopefully the small islands next to Sumatra won't be engulfed in haze, and they would put out the fires as fast as they can with the help maybe from rain during the intermonsoon. We never know. And last but not least, peatland. Very flammable. One spark can create a fire on peatlands. It will spread very fast. The only way that we can from the firefighters type of point of view is either do fire breaks and then you flood the peatland with water if there's a water source, and do water bombings on top of the peatland so that a huge amount of water will fall down to the burning peatland, and hopefully it will extinguish the fires. At least half of the peat. Maybe if it's 3 or 4 feet deep, it can just extinguish down to 2 feet and about 2 feet below. You never know. 2 feet from the surface, sorry. But there will be risk of it reigniting and also continue burning down there, because that's like I said, it's very, very hard and it's a nightmare to put out, what I hear from the firefighters, from bomba-bomba mana pun. Kalau tanah gambut ni memang berkampung lah dekat sebelah tanah gambut tu. Kat Malaysia pun sama. Kalau nak cerita benda tanah gambut yang paling popular, Johan Setia kat Kelang tu. That piece of land itu selalu terbakar. Kalau nak padam memang susah. And also susah juga nak padam because there's no access to go inside where it's burning. Sometimes it burns like in the middle of nowhere, and then there's no access to put out the fires. Sometimes there's no water source at all. The peatland is dried up, and then when it burns, you have to take at least a water tanker or whatever and try to find the closest place so that you can do the direct attack to bring the hose in there and then just spray it out. It's very hard, very, very challenging. If you know someone who is a firefighter near peatlands, you can ask them how complicated and how hard it is to put out fire on peatlands. So I do hope you understand, but if you don't, you can always find me on social media at Lord Rizal, LORDRIZAL, on Twitter. Don't ask me on Facebook because I won't be on Facebook, and also on Instagram, no. Still, I think you can ask me on Twitter, DM me, or just reply at me if you don't know. If you have any, if you're still confused listening to this episode. So hopefully you're not confused, but if you're still, DM me or reply me, mention me or whatever, and I'll do my very best to explain it back to you, even if you have listened to this and you still don't understand. I will do my best. I just really don't like the misunderstanding from the people, from the rakyat, from the orang awam, the public. When they misunderstand, they don't ask back. When they misunderstand, they always throw accusations at people, which I find very, very highly toxic. And I don't know why people do that. And I find it very despicable. Sorry to say that to the public, but yeah. We're also humans, we're also Malaysians. We're trying our very best to make the best that we can, have the best resources we can do. And before I end this episode, I would like to advise all of you, I don't care if you won't do it or not, if it's not. Please don't do open burnings in any other form or fashion. Daun kering ke apa ke kau nak bakar pun, alah, tak payahlah kau longgokkan je, atau kau buat decompostingkan ke apa ke. Penat. Sekarang pun dah ada nationwide ban pun for open burning. So right now you can get compound by 2,000 ringgit. If it's too big, that causes a nuisance for a lot of people, boleh kena denda 500,000 ringgit atau penjara 5 tahun atau kedua-duanya sekali. Kita cakap bahasa Melayu tu, 500,000, okay lah, 500,000, 5 years. Kalau kena buka kertas siasatan lah, if it's too big. So janganlah buat pembakaran terbuka, jangan burukkan lagi keadaan. Kalau jerebu-jerebu ni minumlah banyak air. Apa lagi? Duduk indoors lah, duduk dalam. Kalau tak ada apa, kalau perlu keluar tu pakai mask. Sebelum aku cakap ni, pakailah mask N95. Kau carilah kat farmasi. Cerita dia macam ni ya. Kalau off season ke apa ke, tolonglah beli mask. Kita dah tahu benda ni akan terjadi. Janganlah bila dah jerebu nanti menggagau-gagau nak minta kat kerajaan mask free. Aku tahu benda tu mahal. Benda tak mahal pun, RM5.9 aku tahu. Kita kau kaya tak apalah, boleh cakap ada mask tu murah RM5 lebih. Beli masa off season aku rasa murah rasanya. Kau beli je satu, benda tu tahan lama. Unless kalau kau pergi basahkan ke, atau kau pergi gosok-gosok sampai koyak ke, tu janganlah. You simpan elok-elok mask tu, kau pakailah sampai benda tu rosak, kau beli baru. Ini bukannya surgical mask yang kau pakai buang macam tu je. This thing lasts long. Aku pun pakai juga mask N95 aku semenjak 2015 punya lagi tu. Aku pakai sampai sekarang. Kalau aku beli simpan elok, kenapa korang tak boleh? And hopefully bila korang beli tu, itu kan pakai buang. You can use it for a long time. So please, use it wisely. Wear it when you go outside, so you tak akan kena effects of the those pollutants masuk dalam mulut atau dalam hidung, rongga apa-apa pun yang menyebabkan korang sakit tekak ke, mata ke, everything. Mata pula, kau pakai mask guna kat mata ke? Yelah, hidung dengan mulut lah kau tutup, kan? Telinga tak boleh cakap apa lah, unless kau pakai earplugs. So yes, itu saja daripada aku. You can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and this episode will be on Facebook and Anchor, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and hopefully you guys would subscribe on YouTube. If you know what BitChute is another alternative video platform, just like YouTube. So you can also follow me there on BitChute. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Sorry, again, I've been saying that a lot of times because I'm very, very active on Twitter, and also I just like to like pictures on Instagram. I don't post anything except for this episode's thumbnail. And yes, you can follow me on Gab, my DS account, dark side account, which is actually really not that dark side. It's just like an alternate account for me from Twitter, because you can't say controversial stuff on Twitter. You get caught by the mob, the outrage mob. So you can follow me on Gab, also at Lord Rizal. I'm not active on Minds, so I'm not going to promote my Minds account. So yes, again, subscribe on Twitter, damn it, subscribe on YouTube and BitChute. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, and also follow me on Gab. And if you're in Apple Podcasts, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Give it a rating, hopefully a 5-star rating, and also give it a nice review. So if you give 5-star ratings and also a nice review, it will bump me up on top of the the ratings, the countdown. No, the ratings will go up, and then people can see my podcast and more people will listen to it on Apple Podcasts. So yes, thank you for listening to my rant about haze, about peatland burnings, and hopefully you'll be listening to the next episode of Malam Jumaat Podcast. And thank you again for listening. See you on the episode. Goodbye, everyone. Take it away, Amni.
Thank you for listening to Malam Jumaat Podcast. Did you enjoy this episode? Give it a like and click the subscribe button to support this channel. Don't forget to click the bell to allow notification so you'll never miss a new episode. See you on the next episode of Malam Jumaat Podcast. Goodbye.